Hi there. So today, just some what I'm going to call mobilising moments. So you'll have seen, I hope, my full-blown mobilisation video where I take you through various options that you could take morning, noon or night to do some roll downs, down on all fours, really getting things moving, which are fabulous for really getting all of the spine mobilised as much as possible. But I do understand that if you're at work, if you're in the office or wherever you may be, you can't always just get down on all fours and do all of that. It's not very realistic. So these are a few things that you can do no matter where you are. If you are in the office, even if you're in the car at the traffic lights, not when you're driving, you know, wherever you might be, these are little things that you can use that are going to help you to just release that tension and get everything moving or keep everything moving. First and foremost, shoulders. Any of you that have worked with me know this is one of my bugbears. We all hold so much tension in our shoulders and it's so easy to just get it go. First of all, shake it out. Just give everything a shake and let that tension release. So that in itself can be really effective. Number two is to breathe. And when you breathe, breathe into the shoulders. So breathing in, and as you're out, breathe out, let them go. Actually consciously feel this release. Breathe in. And if you find that hard, what you can do is shrug the shoulders up on the breath in and then relax on the breath out. So we go. And again, breathe in. Once more, breathe in. And breathe. Now you can do that wherever you are, even works in a traffic jam, as I say. So it's a really good way to just get that going and get the breathing into it. The other thing that is really beneficial for our shoulders is shoulder rolls. Now people do these and they go, oh yeah, that's helping. It's not if you do it like that. So let's just look at it properly. You're going to make those rolls as big as you possibly can. And by that I mean round the shoulders, pull them up, squeeze at the back and slide them down. You're in control and you're in control of that slide down. So really consciously slide your shoulders down your back on the end of the movement. Now what we're aiming to do here is get all of those muscles in your back activated. So as I'm moving my shoulders, although I may be thinking of this, what's actually happening, as you can see on my back, is the shoulder blades, which are these triangles of bone on my back here, are moving. And look at how much they're moving. There's loads of movement in there. If I really round, shrug up, squeeze together, slide down, really go through that full range of movement. Now what you're doing whilst doing that, keep going whilst I talk to you. What you're doing whilst doing that is that triangle of bone on your back has got lots of little muscles coming off it. Some of them are little ones radiating out. There's some big ones as well. There's a huge muscle down here called latissimus dorsi, your lats, which comes all the way up here and just goes over the bottom corner of that shoulder blade. So you're activating that muscle as well. The more you do this, the more of those endless muscles on your back you are activating. As they radiate out, you get that movement going. That means you're pulling on those little elastic bands, that's what the muscles are like, pulling in different directions and just getting everything eased out. Also, the more you breathe into it, the more you're getting the circulation into those muscles. So it's just really giving your back a treat, really allowing all of those muscles to get going. And this is the one time I'm not going to talk to you about holding posture. I'm going to say the opposite. Hold the core, give that a little bit of a squeeze, but I actually want you to move with the movement. So round the shoulders forwards and then arch the back a little bit at the back as long as you're held here, so that you really are getting as much movement into those back muscles as possible. You'll get a slightly different effect if you go one at a time. Can you see how my spine is now rotating a little bit more? It's also going from side to side, so I'm getting into a bit of a tilt. So it's quite different. Reverse it from back to front. So it is worth doing, I always say to my clients, it's worth doing both shoulders together sometimes, both backwards and forwards, and going one at a time. If the arms themselves are feeling a bit restricted, which they often are, Think about it, we spend most of our lives either on a phone or a keyboard, possibly driving, maybe writing, cooking. It's all here. We never take our arms beyond that range of movement, that limited range of movement. So if the arms are feeling stiff, once you've got the shoulder joints going, pop the fingertips onto the shoulders and think of the elbows. So circle the elbows. So can you see that now I'm actually getting the arm involved in the movement as well? And then I can reverse it, same thing. Now I can hear my muscles going crunch, crunch, crack, crack. So they needed it. There you go, over the top, keeping it moving. And then you can take it into, I wouldn't go straight into a stretched movement. I've still got my arms slightly bent, and reverse it. And then eventually you can actually take the arm into a full circle. But don't forget, my arm is long. There's a lot of arm there. If I go straight into that, it's a lot of strain on that joint. So build up from just the shoulders to fingers on elbows to bent arms. And then you can get into that fuller movement. And as you do that full movement, get the breath going. And I'm still using the shoulder blades as well. My shoulders are squeezing. Now this might be a little bit too much to do in the car or even at your desk, but you can certainly do it at home without getting down on all fours or anything else. Okay, and it's worth just putting the arms through those movements that they're not used to doing. I find it quite scary how many clients I have. I'll get them down on the mat and I'll ask them to lie on their back, put their arms out behind their heads, and their arm doesn't actually reach the floor. And it's not because of an injury or a particular issue. It's just because it's that use it or lose it. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. And if you don't keep that range of movement going through the arms, you will start to lose it. So have a little play around with it. Find out how far your arms go. Make sure, if there is a restriction there, that you start to work through it, unless you have an injury. If you just think, oh, it's a bit tight, again, start with the arms bent. Keep the arms bent, so it's a smaller movement. That way, I'm still squeezing and pinching between my shoulder blades. I'm just waking up the chest, opening out the chest a little bit, starting to open the arms out. I can start to stretch the arms a bit more, then I can take them all the way out. Same thing coming up to the top. Take them up. Take them up. If that doesn't quite want to go, try a little bit further. You can always use gravity to help. Again, this isn't one that you're going to do when you're sitting in the car. But if you lie on the floor, certainly if you lie on something, if you have a foam roller, you can lie the length of your spine on a foam roller to do this. Otherwise, all I'm going to do just now is I'm going to pop that block on the floor so that I've just very slightly raised at this end. I wonder if I can use 2 blocks. No, I'll just leave it there for now. So here we go. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take my arm out behind me and I'm going to let it hang. So if your arm doesn't easily go all the way to the floor, just let it hang there and try to give way, give into the movement so that you do just gradually allow it to relax into the floor. You can do this in bed at night. Lie in bed, take the arms out and just try to allow them to release. If you find that movement difficult, I really, really encourage you to lie on your back when you first go to bed at night, even if you don't sleep that way. Just let the arms give in to gravity. Just let it go. It's really effective. Think about it. As I said, we're so limited in the way that we use our arms typically. It's not good for us. The less movement you create in those joints, the more likely you are to create excess tension. And as I always say, we've got enough of that going on anyway. So have a think about these exercises, use them daily, keep those shoulders moving, and then start to get the arms opening a little bit more too. Hope this has been helpful. As always, pop a note in the comments, do subscribe, and then you won't miss out on anything else that's coming. See you next time. Bye for now.